Welcome to Little English Studio, where English learning meets the inspiring stories of the world's greatest people. Here, we tell powerful life journeys in clear and simple English, so you can improve your English while discovering lessons of success, struggle, and hope. Today, we bring you the incredible story of Taylor Swift, the young girl from Pennsylvania who grew up to become one of the most successful and influential artists of all time. This is not only the story of music and fame, it is also the story of dreams, rejection, resilience, creativity, battles for ownership, and a journey that has inspired millions of people around the world. Let's begin. Taylor Allison Swift was born on December 13, 1989 in Reading, Pennsylvania, USA. She grew up on a Christmas tree farm, surrounded by nature and animals. From an early age, Taylor was full of imagination. She loved storytelling, writing poems, and performing in front of her family. At the age of 10, she began singing at local events, fairs, and sports games. Her talent was clear, but her real dream was much bigger: to become a country music star in Nashville, Tennessee, the heart of country music. When Taylor was 11, she traveled with her mother to Nashville, carrying a demo tape of karaoke covers. She went from one record label to another, knocking on doors, but she was rejected everywhere. People told her she was too young. They told her she didn't have what it takes, but Taylor refused to give up. She came home, picked up her guitar, and decided to write her own songs. She was not going to wait for permission. She was going to build her own path. Taylor's parents saw her passion and believed in her dream. When she was 14, the family moved to Hendersonville, Tennessee, close to Nashville. This was a big sacrifice, leaving their home behind, but it showed Taylor that her dream was worth fighting for. In Nashville, Taylor signed a publishing deal with Sony/ATV, becoming the youngest songwriter ever signed by the company. She spent her teenage years writing songs every day, learning the craft of storytelling in music. Soon she was discovered by Scott Borchetta, who was starting a new record label called Big Machine Records. He believed in Taylor's talent and gave her the chance she had been waiting for. At just 16 years old, Taylor released her debut album, Taylor Swift. It was filled with songs about teenage love, heartbreak, and small-town life. Her single Tim McGraw introduced her to the world, and soon after, hits like Teardrops on My Guitar and Our Song made her one of the brightest young stars in country music. She was nominated for awards, performed on big stages, and quickly gained a loyal fan base, especially young girls who saw themselves in her songs. But this was only the beginning. In 2008, Taylor released her second album, Fearless. This was the album that made her a superstar. With songs like Love Story and You Belong With Me, she reached millions of listeners around the world. Fearless won Album of the Year at the Grammys, making Taylor the youngest artist ever to win that award. She had now crossed from country into mainstream pop culture, but success also brought challenges. In 2009, Taylor won the MTV Video Music Award for Best Female Video. But during her acceptance speech, rapper Kanye West interrupted her on stage, saying Beyoncé deserved the award. The moment was shocking and humiliating. Taylor stood there speechless as the audience booed. But instead of letting the moment break her, she used it as motivation. She learned early that fame comes with criticism, jealousy, and challenges, but also with opportunities to stand strong. Taylor's third album, Speak Now 2010, was unique because she wrote every single song by herself. It included hits like Mine and Back to December, showing her growth as a songwriter. Then came Red 2012, an album that mixed country with pop influences. With songs like We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together and All Too Well, she showed the world that she was not afraid to experiment. But she also faced heartbreak, media gossip, and endless discussions about her personal life. Instead of hiding, she poured everything into her music. In 2014, Taylor made a bold move. She released 1989, her first full pop album. Many critics doubted her, but Taylor proved them wrong. With hits like Shake It Off, Blank Space, and Style, 1989 became a global phenomenon. Taylor won her second Grammy for Album of the Year, becoming the first woman to win that award twice. She had now reinvented herself from country star to global pop icon. After conflicts with celebrities, endless media scrutiny, and online hate, Taylor disappeared from the spotlight for a year. In 2017, she returned with Reputation, an album filled with darker sounds and powerful messages about resilience. Songs like Look What You Made Me Do and Delicate showed that she was not afraid to fight back against criticism. It became one of the best-selling albums of the year, proving that even when people try to tear her down, she rises stronger. With Lover, Taylor embraced love, color, and positivity. Songs like Me, and Lover reminded fans of her romantic, hopeful side. But soon after, Taylor faced one of her biggest battles, the fight for ownership of her music. Taylor's first 6 albums were sold without her permission to a company led by Scooter Braun. She was heartbroken. The songs she wrote as a teenager, her life's work, were no longer in her control. Instead of giving up, she made a bold decision. She would re-record all her old albums and release them as Taylor's version. This was not only a business move, but also a statement of artistic independence. Millions of fans supported her, making her re-recordings massive successes. Taylor showed the world the importance of owning your own story. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Taylor surprised the world with 2 albums, Folklore and Evermore 2020. These albums were quieter, poetic, and deeply emotional. Songs like Cardigan, Exile, and Willow revealed a new side of her artistry. Folklore even won the Grammy for Album of the Year, making Taylor the first woman to win that award 3 times. In 2023, Taylor launched the Eras Tour, a concert journey through all her musical eras. It became the biggest tour in history, breaking records in sales and cultural impact. Millions of fans around the world celebrated her music, her resilience, and her story. The Eras Tour was not just a concert, it was a celebration of art, identity, and empowerment. Today, Taylor Swift is more than just a singer. She is a songwriter, a storyteller, a businesswoman, a feminist icon, and a voice for her generation. Her journey from a little girl with a guitar in Pennsylvania to the world's biggest pop star shows us the power of dreams, resilience, and never giving up. She has inspired millions of people to speak their truth, to fight for their art, and to believe that even when the world doubts you, you can still shine. This was the story of Taylor Swift, a fearless dreamer, a relentless fighter, and one of the most influential artists of our time.